Yes, it's just a privilege for us today to receive our next guest for our third edition Hakuna Matata podcast. And the weather has, everybody can see it in the north, it's just beautiful. And I would not like to take too much of my second, and let me just bring my guest in so that we can start our podcast. So as a traditional here, I always let them to introduce themselves. So I'll just say hi, and they will respond back to me so that the audience can know that yes, we've got the guest online. Hi.
Nice to be on the podcast, Robert. My name is Matty Innocent.
Good. Mr. Matty, so today it will be a privilege for us to speak to you quickly. So this is our first question. What was the turning point where you decided to go from your just creating music to build Distinction Studio as a full creative space and brand to you?
Well, it's been an ongoing thing for me for many years, to be honest. Distinction was something that came off the back of, in about 2006, I started an event and I was looking for a name to call it Distinction. This was an event that I was running prior to Riff Raff that I ran with Lee for many years. So it was an independent kind of event brand, if you like, the Distinction branding. Prior to that, I was with, I had something called Fubar Promotions. That's what I originally started out with in 1996. So yeah, all of these things have kind of evolved and turned into stuff as they are. But when did I make the decision to kind of really get serious about my music? That's probably around about 2006. I did my first production. I got my first signing. At that time, I was kind of having other jobs as well, other normal jobs, bringing a family up. So my music was always sat in the background a little bit, you know.
Okay.
But I was always very, very passionate about it. So I always kept it up, and I was DJing on a weekend and things like this, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, the Distinction thing at the moment. Distinction Studios is the strongest talking point I think at the moment, which is the recording studio in Stockton.
Fantastic.
So that's probably come under the Rhythms project a little bit, really.
Okay.
Off the back of the bar that we opened. So that all these smaller kind of projects are all kind of part of one interleaved umbrella project, really.
Okay. So let me move to the next one so that I can catch up with you on the 10 minutes that I've got for you. So what kind of environment did you want Distinction's recording studio to be for artists, and how is that different from a typical studio? 1 minute.
We want it to be homely, welcoming, somewhere where people could relax and the music could come out. They didn't feel pressured or kind of looked at by the system. I think music's one of those things that comes out well when you kind of are in a nice relaxing space that you can relate to, you know. So that's what I wanted to put across.
Okay. So all right, that's beautiful. Here we go. When an artist walks into your studio, how do you help them to unlock their best creative energy?
First of all, it's about getting to know the people, working out kind of what the artist's doing, their goals are, what they're wanting to do, and then kind of aligning my skill set and services with their goals, really. So it's a case of getting to know people first and foremost. I think music's got to be fun, and you've got to be engaged with whoever it is you're working with. So yeah, I think kind of finding out a little bit about the person and working out where they want to go with it. The first keys, yeah.
Exactly. Beautiful. So I'm aware, and your profile is one of the great profile in the Northeast. So to make it better for me, this question is that your sound is rooted in underground house and techno, because you are one of the top DJ in the Northeast. Just to give you that badge already. So for my question goes, how that culture shape the way you run your studio and mentor artists today?
Yes, I think it does. Yeah, I've always been very eclectic and into all sorts of different types of music, and then going to Teesside University and studying there, and then going on to teach there is kind of I've had to be a little bit eclectic and work with all sorts of different types of music. But my personal taste is rooted in kind of EDM, techno, tech house vibes. That's what I produce and play as a DJ. So yeah, I suppose that has had an influence on the studio. But I also built the studio around it being versatile for everybody to use. So whether you're a band, a singer, a DJ, anybody can use that, you know.
Beautiful. Right. What does it mean to build something like Distinction Studio in Stockton-on-Tees, and how important is it to support local talent here and there? So we're talking about the whole Northeast anyway.
I think supporting local talent is a massive thing for me. I think kind of being a bit an emerging artist myself from the Northeast, bringing people forward and giving people opportunities to shine, because I know there is a lot of talent in the Northeast Tees Valley. I think it's very important. Nurturing the skill set, keeping them whole as well is a big key factor. I think a lot of kind of homegrown talent tended to work its way over to the bigger cities, and people tended to move away to try and chase the aspirations and the chances for the career. So I think kind of nurturing local talent is a massively important thing.
True. Can you tell us the hardest challenges in building the studio, and what did it teach you about the music industry itself?
Financing really was probably one of the hardest things. Getting money to actually do the project. It was all self-built. So getting funding and finding the funds to actually buy the raw materials so you can build the bare bones of the studio was difficult. Going down there and building the thing with my own kind of hands as well. I got some help from a couple of friends, but it was kind of a build of my own really. It was an empty space physically. In regards to kind of building the ethos of the place and stuff, I think it's promotion's a big thing, and what I wanted to do is wait until it's ready. I still don't feel it's quite ready yet. I want to do a nice open day at some point when I feel like, okay, this is it, we're there now, you know. So I mean, the studio will be open. It is open and functioning, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not quite finished. But it's one of those things. It's an ongoing project, so I'm always building it anyway. But yeah, it's kind of in good stead now. So probably funding, I would have thought, was the hardest part. Finding the musicians was quite easy. There's a lot of passionate and regular musicians in the north in the area, so they all were easy enough to find because they were in my network already. But yeah. Funding projects like this, sometimes perhaps the council, especially Middlesbrough Council and things like that, don't really kind of look at these sort of projects as key projects. So sometimes kind of getting a little bit of backing from the local councils is a little bit difficult occasionally.
Yeah.
So yeah, funding was probably the hardest thing.
Yeah, truly talking about the funding, because this is what makes everything to be up on the floor. So when coming to upcoming to artists and young producers who don't have access to big studios, so because of the funding, talking about what mind or steps would you say are essential to steal the success?
Haven't got access to studios. I mean, there's a lot of really good budget equipment that you can purchase from Amazon. The internet, you can get yourself enough equipment for a couple of £100 to set up and record yourself. So I think realistically, it's build your knowledge base and build your kind of your client base as well. Kind of get yourself out there, speak to people. Realistically, if you're not kind of speaking to people and showing people who you are, you're never going to get known. That's the difficult thing. I don't think that you need a massively professional portfolio to start presenting yourself forward, because being a musician in the modern world is an evolutionary process. You're always learning, you're always adding skill sets, so you've got to start somewhere. So don't kind of hold back and think that you need a fantastic portfolio, you need to spend this much money on making so many records, this, that, the other. No, I mean, at the end of the day, a career in music's supposed to be fun first and foremost. So get out there and do it, and yeah, you will find that the money will follow in time. It is a difficult kind of career path to monetize. A lot of people expect music to be free, which is a shame for musicians starting out. But unfortunately, that's what you've got to do. It's a passion that you can turn into a career path if you want to.
Yes.
And there's ways and means to do that.
Fantastic. So, for the people who may not know how you describe Distinction Studio in your own words, so that we can go to the end.
How would I describe Distinction Studios in my own words? Right, welcoming, opening, diverse. I'd like to describe it as a stepping stone for people onto the music ladder. I'd like to present it as a welcoming place for established musicians who are looking to build on their portfolio. A friendly, laid back, relaxed environment where people are allowed to be themselves and nurture their own music styles and how they like to. It's also got a few connections into kind of the industry itself. So we've built quite a nice little black book, so to speak, of industry professionals that we work with and that are always kind of on the lookout for people. So yeah, things are we're building it from the ground up. So yeah, it's come and be part of it if you're interested.
Yes. Fantastic, Mr. Matty Innocent. That's the director and the owner of Distinction Studio Recording also, and all this beautiful space. If you want, just access our website, which is Distinctions, easily to find on our Google nowadays. You just say Distinction Studio in Stockton and you find it. Thank you very much, Mr. Matty. So we'll let you go because it has been a lovely and appreciated of your time on our line. So we will let you go. Beautiful Saturday and have a good weekend.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Okay then. Bye-bye.